talking to you right now. I got to start with Gods. How have you been? You're here at Road to TI in Seattle yet again.
Yeah, it's honestly beautiful to be back in Seattle. It's been some time. We've got the Psg.Lgd Arena back, and this is to me kind of like a spiritual home for Dota. So it just feels only fitting that TI finally returns.
Yeah, there's been a lot of emotion, so much dramatic music, obviously a gorgeous theme as well so far that we've had for TI and the Road to TI. But Lizard, what are you most excited about?
About Gods? What do you mean?
Okay, you're the same with me.
We unlocked Gods, like he's that one locked character in the compendium.
This is the face reveal.
Exactly, the face reveal. Look, it's always it's every player's dream to be here, so I'm happy to be a part of it. And it's in Seattle again, like I've never been here before.
Time?
I was walking down the road yesterday with Snare. We went past the Benaroya Hall.
Yeah.
A lot of history here.
Yeah, we get to see it all, get to experience it for ourselves. But if you guys aren't here and you do still want to stay up to date, then you can follow all of the social media for Dota 2 right there below us. You can read it, and no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter what time zone you are in, you can get all of your information, all the updates there. But we got to talk about our group stages, everything that will be unfolding, because guys, we've got 4 teams from SA. We've only got 2 from China. Like, these regions are all mismatched. I would never think that we were here from what we saw last year at TI 11.
Oh, definitely. Like, things have been changing in Dota for a while now. A lot of these regions that have been considered weaker back in the day got a lot of coaches infiltrating those regions, building up the scene, and now you can see the results. Like, SA owning 4 teams here. China, on the other hand, not looking so tough at TI, but with only 2 teams. At the same time, those 2 teams could do a lot.
Yeah. And people used to talk about, the alternating years. That was between China and Europe. That applied when Seattle was the home of TI. So maybe now we're back in Seattle, it could continue.
You're right. Maybe that was the change-up. It was all location dependent, so we could potentially see the cream of the crop of that China region coming back. But you guys might be surprised that there's 4 groups. Maybe you're not up to date with how all of the Road to International is going to be playing out. And so to make sure you get all that information, we have a little bit of a video explaining it.
This year, we are introducing the newly formatted group stage on the Road to the International. In this new format, 20 teams are divided into 4 groups, with each team playing each other twice and the last place teams being eliminated at the end of the second day. Of the remaining 16 teams, the winner of each group chooses their next opponent from the 3rd or 4th place team in another group, whilst the remaining teams of those groups get matched together. With the matchups for days 3 and 4 decided, these best-of-3 series determine who begins in the upper or lower bracket at the playoff stage on the Road to the International. Having now arrived at the playoffs, we begin our 16-team double elimination bracket to continue the Road to the International. The 4 winners in the upper bracket will advance directly to the upper bracket of the International, whilst the losing teams battle it out in the lower bracket to claim the remaining 4 spots. With the 8 teams decided, the stage is set for a double elimination bracket, which will determine who will lift the Aegis and become the International 2023 champion.
This new format does put a lot on the line for group stages. The fact that it's 4 groups with 5 teams, we are going to be seeing 4 teams going home in 2 days' time. That's going to be their end to their Road to the International, and that's putting a lot on how many games are going to be played today too.
Yeah, I think I really like this new format. I think it's great how you have these teams divided up and then the kind of seeing matches afterwards. But definitely the big highlight is that one team eliminated from the groups. It kind of changes things up where you can't have that slow start. I look back at Team Spirit, who won the International a couple of years ago, and they started the group stage really poorly. They went 2 wins, 6 losses before winning their next 8 games. You can't really have that slow start. You got to come out guns blazing, because otherwise you could get eliminated. Yeah,
and outside of being eliminated, it feels like coming first is where a lot of that importance and that priority is, Lizard, and kind of 2nd, 3rd, 4th is this. You don't really mind too much where you place it, because it really comes down to first in that opposing group.
Yeah, I can see that, because you're choosing your opponent, right? And then it might be a little bit easier for you to go through the rest of the bracket. At the same time, I look at these groups, like, everyone is strong. Like, maybe you have that one team that looks like they're going to go home in about 24, 30 hours. But if you get to choose between 3rd and 4th, the choice is really difficult. Like, you might be paralyzed by the choice, actually. Like, you're just looking at,
just
do
flip
I
the
play
coin.
versus these guys or these that are even stronger?
That's come the meta for some teams.
no,
They're like,
it is.
we're just going to let fate decide because if, I think it was one of the things Blitz said on Twitter. It's like, if you care about who's in your group, you're not going to go far. It's kind of the same when picking your opponent. If you're a team who wants to win TI and is a real top contender, at some point you just can't care who you're facing.
Yeah, so many choices. In fact, some of our audience might be paralyzed for choice because we've got 5 streams going on. Each stream is going to be having 5 BO2s. So this is your schedule. Keep a close eye on what teams you want to be following. Here on Stream A, we will mostly be looking at Tundra and VP. Those teams will be playing 2 best of 2s here on this one each. But obviously we have other streams. Stream B, if you guys want to follow that one, if you're a Liquid fan, if you're an EG fan, then you can kind of just have your eyes glued to that one, Lizard.
Yeah, like on Stream B, Liquid, Dominate.
That's what 9 did, so I think they're going to be able to at least adjust fairly quickly. It's probably a harder adjustment for 9 than it is for Topson.
And he might actually have some pressure, Topson that is, because right now... actually kicking someone away from his position, more or less, right? Like, you're taking that position from 9, and 9 is an amazing mid laner. So it's going to be interesting to see the 2 of them actually work, because they are going to be working a lot together in that mid lane.
Yeah, I do want to talk more on the expectations as well. Do you feel that TSM might have that advantage because there isn't this expectation that other people are placing on them? They're like, hey, let's make it out of groups, like this is it. Like, we can show that we can go a little bit of the distance, whereas Tundra, they're trying to defend that title from last year.
Yeah. It always can be good to go a bit overlooked, but I think what teams have learned when it comes to TI is you got to prepare for everyone. You can't take anyone lightly. I think over the years there were times where people looked at certain teams or even regions. If you look at South America, where it's like, these teams are not going to compete on the same level as others. But then time and time again, you get proven wrong. Like, wait a second, we've got to treat everyone seriously, no matter even if they were a qualifier team coming out of some underrepresented region. So I think that's going to be the approach to anyone playing against TSM as well. For Tundra, though, there is going to be a target on them because returning champions every year. Returning champions, it's just like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, and a week, 10 days ago, there was a new patch.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about that yet.
It's kind of hard to prepare for every single team, but you have to. So you can't really let your guard down. You might go home in 30 hours if you make a mistake or 2.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like this patch is big enough that you could see a certain team being favored more towards it? Or what we saw in Dream League Season 21 leading into this is probably similar to playstyles?
From all the talk with coaches and players...
you've been doing the rounds while at the hotel.
Yeah, a little bit. And from my own pub experience, I feel like it's going to be very interesting. Like, we might see some heroes that you don't necessarily expect at certain roles.
Mm-hmm. I also, just having a bit of a chit-chat too, TSM picking up another coach for themselves. Do you think this is going to be something extra for them? What do you think Moon might have been lacking when it came to coaching that could now be elevated by having a second coach for themselves?
I think often it's just about having more eyes, like just having a fresh perspective, especially when some of their international results haven't been quite what they would have hoped. So having a second coach, whether who could maybe focus more on, let's say, analyzing certain movements, warding positions, just the more people you have to study the data, because especially during the group stage, there's all these games going at once. It's almost impossible for even one coach to just track everything. And they're trying to focus, I just hone in on their current game being played. You can't watch the other games, but it's kind of important to take in all the other data. If one team's dominating with a certain hero or strategy, you need to kind of pick up on that quickly. So multiple coaches at TI, I think, is just important.
Just bring 5 coaches.
It's
cool. The more the merrier. But when I imagine Moonmeander, like, I always remember those streams and him sitting in his chair screaming, motivating his teammates. Like, let him focus on that. Get someone else for all the stats.
You want him to be like more the morale and
there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so Moon maybe taking a bit more of a morale approach. We'll see if it does work for them. When it comes to this matchup, it's a BO2. Do you want to quickly put out some predictions? 1-1, 2-1, very quickly.
Are we going to be
1-1 just feels like the safe call here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-0 for Tundra. Like, I have faith in them. Actually, no matter what happens, we all know it's going to be a very interesting matchup just because of Thompson on mid as well in Tundra. It's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, no matter what's going to be happening, it is going to be a lot of fun to watch. I'm excited for it. It is TSM up against Tundra. And so you're both just going to go for the safe 1-1.
Oh, you said
No,
I'm playing it safe for now.
You're just like, oh, I haven't been around for a little bit. I just want to be nice to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%?
I'm not making any... 2-0 TSM.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I tried to bully him
Let's
into
go
it.
Dota.
We've heard it from Lizard and Gods here. So let's hear from our casters, Beakoff and Lacoste.
Welcome to the road to the international. It's going to be fun. I am Beakoff, joined here by Lacoste. Going to be a fun Group D matchup. Tundra, TSM, Lacoste. How are you feeling right now? First game's coming in, and seems like it's going to be an exciting one to start.
Feeling good, feeling great. It's going to be great Dota ahead of us. Every single year TI happens, I'm like, I can't believe this is happening, this anticipation coming into it with everything around. Like you want to play as much Dota as you possibly can, watch as much Dota. And this is a good spot to be in to watch some good Dota. Like these are the best teams in the world for a good reason. And I think this matchup is going to be fairly interesting because if you look at how they played before, like TSM, you would expect maybe Tundra as also being a team that, is a defending champion from the last year. Riyadh Masters, Tundra did manage to beat them, but they also drew in the groups. Same goes with the Dream League. So pretty familiar. They played a decent amount of games because there was a lot of tournaments this year. And of course, everybody's going to be talking about Thompson, who's missing on camera. He's just chilling for now, somewhere in there. Oh, there he is. There he is. Needs to wash his face, but it's going to be good. I like the way they played during the Dream League because they're very unpredictable in terms of what they're going to pick. I've seen some really innovative picks coming out from him. And when you check Dota Pro Tracker, that he's going to be playing a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, it seems like mid has kind of found its availability to get a little bit weird. Things have definitely expanded. I know at the Asian Games, Earth Spirit was a very popular pick, and I know Thompson's definitely been one of those guys in the past who loves an Earth Spirit kind of player. But what are you expecting? What's different in the mid lane hero-wise? What's one or two of those heroes that you want to see come out in this first game?
I think we might see, maybe not in this game, but I think in this series, Thompson's going to bang out Ogre. Because a lot of these, people try to theory craft, mostly off-laners, going for this Blade Mail Heart, also some of the mid-laners like Kunkka. I think this is still super strong, even though, both of these items got slightly nerfed. It's still super popular. And the big one is TSM banning out Bristleback, because Bristol has been on the rise as well. 33, one of his most played heroes in the recent week. Just becomes super tanky. Vanguard, Aghanim, Scepter, Shard. Then you pick up the Bloodstone. You become super annoying. One of the better heroes to clear the stack. And we also know that Tundra is a team that stacks a lot. And also we've seen teams shifting away from these standard picks. You could see how meta changes, where people would immediately take one of these strong position 1 carries Gyro, Sven as well.
Yeah, Sven was popular from Ame. He was one of those picks that I think he really went to in the Asian Games. And there's that Earth Spirit we already talked about, making its way into the first pick for Tundra. They went to the Treant on TSM. Nothing too out of the ordinary right now. One thing I do want to mention is that Muerta ban. I know a lot of people were talking about how this might be the carry of the tournament. But I'm interested to get your thoughts too on 5 seconds. Every TI there's a TI meta, right? But does it change when the groups are smaller and things are a little bit different? You're not going up against 8 other teams like we used to have the 9 2 groups of 9. So now you're not seeing everybody as much, and maybe different metas form from each different group, right?
That might happen. We've seen that at the previous TI. Team Secret, Team Liquid, forming their own meta because they had to go through this last chance qualifier tournament and they played more games while other teams in the other group, they played different style of Dota, and you could see the big difference. So I think that's a really good point. And to go back to Muerta, like this hero has been on the rise ever since like the changes. Her also ulti before didn't go through BKB, but also since the changes to a BKB, her ulti does deal now damage, less damage, but overall one of those explosive heroes, a hero that can farm extremely fast and also just kill people. All you need to do is have someone to just like lock them in place to be able to deal damage, because she kills you in like 2 seconds pretty much.
So going into this next set of picks, and just to go and fall back to that Earth Spirit pick that was there for Tundra, item-wise, it seems like Blade Mail's on the rise too. Like it feels like so many heroes utilize that item all over the place, and it's just what to you is just making this like a first item pick for a lot of heroes.
That makes you like, it's a cheap item, cheap components, allows you to tank up some of the damage, deal damage in the middle of the fight, especially for those heroes that run in. And also, again, we're going back to changes to BKB, where you, like most of the people don't want to buy BKB, especially early on, so people try to theory craft how to stay in fights for longer. This is where Blade Mail Heart is going to kick in. And Tundra will pick up Grimstroke. Also another hero that has been in a really bad place for a really long time. Like,
He's the only potential three-timer at the event, so you know there. I don't think after you win one, is there pressure to win a second? After you win two, is there pressure to win a third?
He's probably the most chill guy at this TI because he already won 2 TIs, doesn't have anything to prove, and seems like it is time to go.
I don't think after you win one, is there pressure to win a second? After you win two, is there pressure to win a third?
I'll show you how. He's probably the most chill guy at this TI because he already won 2 TIs, doesn't have anything to prove, and seems like it is time to go
for Topson to have an Earth Spirit. I've done this. I've done this 2 times before. I could do it a third.
I mean, this has.
And I'll show you how with an Earth Spirit game number 1. I mean, that is definitely very exciting coming out first. It's almost
nice cosmetics.
So on brand for Topson to have an Earth Spirit in game 1, right?
The toy Pudge. Pretty much. I mean, this has been his hero, and he does have really good heroes to play with. Also, Pudge. With the really nice cosmetic there, of course.
Get our predictions right if you guys are in game.
The toy Pudge,
right
the
now.
Bucharest,
and five smokes coming out, and see how this game goes. We'll see how we spot any maybe awards. Get our predictions right if you guys are in game and in client right now. Five smokes coming out, and sending some illusions over mid. We'll see if they can spot any maybe wards being placed down, get that early advantage. The bounty rune fights are going to go every time there's a start to a game, and I know I've said this to you 1,000 times, but I think of that Coddle Ultra Kill pre-minute 1, and I always want to see a fight like that.
Yeah, probably not going to happen ever again. This is like Southeast Asian specialty where Coddle killed 5 people pretty much. One thing that TSM do have in this one is tankiness. They do have a lot of tanks, a lot of good frontline. Lone Druid, I want to see what the item's going to be on him. I see Radiance queued up. Most of the mid Lone Druids that I watched in high professional Dota and some of the, because he hasn't been picked much, but I also think this hero is going to be played a lot at this TI, has been this Diffusal Blade.
Yeah, Diffusal Blade on a couple of heroes, right?
Diffusal Blade, Echo Saber.
So we'll see if they fight. Top's in the one right in the bounty room. But there are 3 heroes here. All right, and Whitemon will pressure Tops in enough to push him away from the bounty. And TSM, well, they've got themselves 3 bounty runes to start. And then 1 will be picked up here by Tundra. So just taking a look across the board as they're going to be throwing this lone druid in the top lane with Ari.
Switching things up. One of the heroes like that can do really well against Warlock if he's caught out of position, because this hero, what he does is uses Fatal Bonds, pushes out the wave, then goes for the pool, uses Fatal Bonds again. It's Pudge, but because he can hook him out, like he can hook him out of the position, starting with Rot immediately level 1 in this bottom lane. I like what I see. He's gonna soak a lot of damage from both Fatal Bonds, some right clicks, but also wants to kill illusions immediately.
Yeah, can't get too comfortable in the lane right now. And, you know, level 1, you've got Treant Protector who's helping you or trying to help you with Nature's Grasp. But already feels like Tundra's putting some pressure on Tomato. We only got 1 tango remaining. We were saying mid's going to be very important. Right now, it's just pretty much even. Who do you think comes away ahead of this mid matchup between Bryle and Thompson?
Much nicer. I think Bryle's going to do good. Like, he's playing Zeus into melee hero. Sure, you're playing into Earth Spirit, one of the heroes, like one of the easiest heroes you can close the gap with. But I could see Bryle doing good. You also have Heavenly Jump ever since this addition. Zeus feels much nicer to play.
Like you said, Earth Spirit's definitely one of those heroes that has that long range jump off level 2. Sitting a little bit low here. That Arc Lightning. Careful as this Arc Lightning is starting to put. We'll see when Thompson over mid chooses to also rotate through these lanes too. Like you said, Earth Spirit's definitely one of those heroes that has that long range initiation. Sitting a little bit low here, needs to be careful as this Arc Lightning is starting to put big pressure on him over mid. Yeah, they're gonna get this.
Bryle might pick up both water runes. He's putting in some pressure. Doesn't have much mana to work with, only Heavenly Jump. Thompson's bottle is on the way, but Bryle
for a moment, but wants that first blood for Tundra.
Slightly more pressure. There's the Inkswell top.
Yeah, they're gonna get this first blood. 33 is gonna get credit for it. Kasane is gonna fall. They look over at Ari. They show it. He's able to sit under the tier 1 tower alive for a moment, but getting that first blood for Tundra. And you were talking about the upgrades to this Inkswell, being able to pop it off yourself. It just makes it so much easier to line things up. Going well to Tundra. They show it there by getting first blood. Pretty good too. 12 and 4%.
Completely free farming in this lane.
He does it in the top lane and
putting pressure on Pudge. Tomatoes, he's doing okay.
Lane's already going well for Tundra, and bottom is looking pretty good too. 12 and 4%
physical damage. Completely free farming in this lane.
Like 9's gonna be the one
putting pressure on Pudge. Tomatoes, he's doing okay. Does have Ring of Health. Does have Ring of Protection to soak up some of that physical damage.
Now his courier finally respawn again. It looks like 9's gonna be the one who falls. That Inkswell not saved him that time. So Kasane gets a little bit of revenge onto the Grimstroke. You know, he can really stay. Not only did he die, but now his courier finally respawns. But gets a little bit of gold back in his pocket. He's to power the bear already. It's a lot of damage coming through. Grimstroke not feeling.
It is.
You have to be careful. He can really stay nearby too well unless his positioning is kind of perfect against the bear, right? Snowball into tag team. It's a lot of damage coming through.
Close tag team. It is. Like, you have to be careful. Put a second one. For now, Ari saving a point, deciding whether he needs to block them off with the shard or if he wants to put another point in tag team. You get close tag team plus the bear. Let's see. Decided to put a second one in tag
bottom lane. Snaking's in trouble, and they've got a net on a Tomato. Leech Seed here with right clicks coming in from Whitemon, who's got no more mana left. Fairy Fire, Blood Grenade, goes back towards the tree and ends up losing his life. They've got the Fatal Bonds on, but they just don't have the damage to get a kill on either Tomato or Whitemon at the moment, and maybe they can chase him down and land a net.
Maybe get a courier. Playing into Warlock and reposition him with the hook.
No courier there, scaring a little bit far.
Wants to keep the distance, stay.
Tomato, no hook, it's on cooldown, so.
Like in the vicinity of the tower, and just. This is what we mentioned the farm. You're playing into Warlock. If you reposition him with the hook, you might be able to get the kill, because he wants to keep the distance, stay in the next minute, so like in the vicinity of the tower and just secure the farm as soon as for his safe laner, maybe get the pull off.
Get anybody close
Zeus, he's gonna be level 6 in the next minute, so I expect TSM to start playing much more aggressive as soon as Zeus gets to level 6.
Get anybody close to low, you can really help out with this Thunder. That's a hero kill in itself. Like, they're going in. They've got the roll. They have Thompson making the move over towards top. They look over at the bear. And it will be
plus 300. That's
gold for Thompson. That's a hero kill in itself. Like 300 gold is no joke, especially when you're giving it over to the mid.
Constant action, can't even finish my thought.
Yeah,
He's
they
still
go for
going to
Skitter, they
stick
get the
around,
kill,
it
they land
seems.
the hook out of people's not doing enough.
He's one of the heroes that can, yeah, he can still rotate. Like, there's 2 heroes in the game. Constant action, can't even finish my thought.
Yeah, they go for Skitter, they get the kill, they land the hook out of people's not doing enough to save this Naga. Some damage on it of Tomato as he's trying to run away. Down 50 health, pops that stick. There's a shared tango. There's not much the Warlock can do once he's able to walk away. The top lane, they're going after Ari. They've got the ink slow. They have the pressure on. They're looking for the trying to retreat. But here comes the Zeus. Bryle's in. Thompson with the roll, trying to get away. They get the kill on Ari. They're finally taking the tough, but Thompson in trouble. Gonna try and run away, but the Thunder God's Wrath is there, and Bryle will get the kill on the Earth Spirit, trying to retreat.
This is something that we mentioned during the draft as well. TSM heroes are really difficult to kill, especially early on. They're super tanky. This is Twin Protector level 4 with 1,000 HP.
9. Bryle makes a move over mid, and he's going to Ari's in the mix as well. That ink spell's never going to pop. Bryle's got another kill. Again, a lot of action. Thompson's made his way over bottom. And Bryle makes a move. He's the one who TP's top, gets 2 kills for his trouble. Now bottom lane again, a lot of action. Thompson's made his way over bottom, and they're going to get this punch.
Thompson one of those players that doesn't care about his own levels or anything. Like, he wants to make a move, and now he might be able to go for the move, pick up enemy XP rune. This is going to be massive if he manages to do it. He does have Boulder Smash, he does have Rolling Boulder available as well, and also 9 is going for his own XP rune.
TSM. Thompson's here with snaking, and he drops down the magnetize the near full side of Tundra after getting a couple kills, but also dying over top. They're bringing a lot of heroes here for TSM. Thompson's here with snaking, and he drops down the magnetize. The people will slow down White Mom, but they've got the snowball to stop that. So snaking in a very vulnerable position with Pudge right behind these punches. Thompson's getting low, and can he pick it up? Get 1 kill, they'll get White Mom. Thompson gets the Wisdom Rune. Now he's got the Boulder Smash. Here comes Bryle. Mono gets Thompson, Bryle gets snaking. And it's a 2-for-1, but they do end up getting the Wisdom Rune and a kill.
Not sure if that's, like, XP runes, definitely worth it, but they also just got, like, 1 kill on position 5 while losing Thompson. He did get those Urn of Shadow charges before he died, so that's a big benefit, because sometimes you need that extra damage and also relieving some of the pressure from Skeeter. Very interesting build coming out from Bryle. This is, like, I've seen this a couple of times in pub, just skipping mana boots completely on Bryle. Speaking of Bryle, he's dead.
Whitemon trying to come over to help, but there's just no real way for him to do so. Now the Fatalbon's hit Ari and Whitemon, so they can't really defend too well anymore.
That extra damage and also relieving some of the business. Like, I've seen this a couple of times. These teams on point when it comes down to deboarding. You can build kill like 3-4 silver boards total. Mato in the bottom,
trying to come over to
farming up, getting his level 6, Vanguard available.
So now the Fatalbon's hit Ari and Whitemon, so right off picking up that double damage, so they want to go for more. The pressure's not stopping from Tundra.
Both of these teams on point when it comes down to
really want to keep their pedal on the gas. You said TSM, they have a really good early game, and I think they're trying to counter right now from Tundra with pressure of their own, right?
Farming up, getting hit 33 is level 6, so that means Solar Guardian is available.
Right on. Swell is gonna be avoided with the snowball save from Ari, but they've got the magnetize to try and turn this. Damage coming in. Thunder God's Wrath. Thompson's dead. Ari traded. Down goes Tomato. Counter right now from Tundra with 2 kills there for Tundra for the one of that Earth Spirit from the mid.
Level 6,
and
so that means Solar Guardian is available.
Swell okay for Tundra, but again, be avoided losing this Earth Spirit for the 3rd time. Magnetized to try and turn this. Damage coming in.
It's just stopping things. He loves to be super active. Wants to, like, break the game. This is how he won 2 TIs, pretty much. Just constant aggression coming out from his team. And I've noticed, like, the slight change in the way Tundra plays. Because, like, when people talk about Tundra, it's all about, you know, they choke you out. But Tundra is also, like, even before Thompson joined, they were the team that could play extremely fast Dota when necessary. Now with the addition of Thompson, look at them go.
Yeah, they want to go for more, but they've got the snowball back over onto Thompson. Inkswell, it's going to pop. That stuns up Ari. They use the chaotic back off range. They've got themselves the hook as well as the Dismember on a top 10. Overgrowth used by Whitemon. That's going to control the Warlock and the Grimstroke. Solar Guardian used by 33 to try and save the Earth Spirit. They get the trade on the Ahri. They look over at Tomato. The Golem trying to hit him down with the help of the Dogbreaker. They kill off Tomato. Stroke of Fate's not going to be able to save 33. They lose Bile. Whitemon's low. He'll fall to 9. And 4 heroes are dead inside of TSF.
Yeah, this is the power of picking up 2 bounty runes. Both supports level 6 on side of Thunder pre-10 minutes coming into the fight. I don't think they executed the Soulbind plus Fatal Bonds. I think there was only 1 Fatal Bonds in that fight, but still, like both supports also surviving. 9, he's level 7, so is Snaking. And we're going to see that again.
Yeah, the rolling to start on a Brile. Ari's been doing a really good job with these snowballs. But you can hold Inkswell for a long time.
1 Fatal Bonds. But still more than enough. And this Solar Guardian coming in clutch. Like, you know that you're not killing Golem in this fight. He's going to deal a ton of damage. Brile needs to keep the distance. But again, you have heroes that can close the gap. He does what he can in this one. Trades, but they lose way too much.
Yeah, they're a little clumped up, and that's just allowing Zeus to output a lot of damage with that Arc Lightning, right?
Has Kaya, doesn't have neutral item yet. Maybe he finds a fairy trinket.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top
Back into the game we go.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's only a 1k net worth lead for Tundra at the moment, but it's been back and forth. It's 10 minutes in. We're averaging 2 kills a minute at the moment.
You said Fairy's Trinket. There it is on Zeus. Some extra spell amp coming out from him. Ooh, that ulti, it's gonna hurt.
Oh, yeah.
While all this is happening, both kind of real carries in this game are farming. Kasane already has Relic, only needs to find Talisman, and he's very close. This is going to be like 11 and a half, 12-minute Radiance, which is going to destroy Nagasar and the Illusions. DSM will hit an earlier timing.
Tundra's, but is Tundra slowing down that timing enough? You talked about the draft, right? Like the timing that they have available to them compared to Tundra's, but is Tundra slowing down that timing enough?
They're doing a good job picking
Relic. He's almost in the Talisman, 500 gold off of finishing off that Radiance. Sane's already got the Sacred Relics. He's almost into the Talisman, 500 gold off of finishing off that Radiance. Like you said, has that Fairy's Trinket, has the Kaya going into the Brile leading the network at the moment. Like you said, has that Fairy's Trinket, has the Kaya going into for this current minute. Things slowing down a little bit. At least for this current minute. Constant fighting we've been slowing down the last 5 minutes of the game.
21 kills in 11 minutes. I don't think we can ask for anything better.
I say that, but
21 kills in 11 minutes. I don't think we can ask for anything better.
Gonna go. They've got the roll. I say that, but Sane's Bear getting a little bit low. They've got the Spirit Vest on Sane. Whitemon coming over the Nature's Grasp. Sane's Bear getting a little bit low. They've got the Spirit Vest on Sane. Whitemon coming over the Nature's Grasp. Boulder Smash hits on Sane. But here coming around the bend. Solar Guardian up in the air. Now they look over. That's gonna drop down. Hits on a Whitemon. They've got the Magnetize. Solar Guardian up in the air. Smash down. Now they look over. That's gonna drop down. Hits on a Whitemon. They've got the Magnetize. 33. Smash down both Ahri and
Solar Guardian stun didn't connect. Even though the stun, he still managed to, like, even though Solar Guardian inside didn't connect, just like eat them alive. This is a really nice move. Like, they understood that keep them inside and might be getting closer. Eat them alive. This is a really nice move. They understood that Lone Druid you see Nagasar might be getting involved to his Radiance as Nagasar trying to set things up. You see Nagasar like Skeeter getting involved early on as Nagasar trying to set things up with
Solar Guardian, the Starbreaker hitting on both. Quick on and off. Whitemon and Ahri dropping the Solar Guardian, but the Starbreaker hitting on both. Whitemon and Ahri were just trying to help and end up losing their 3 heroes in that situation.
All Tundra wants to do is like a massive extra levels, like get another laser timing item on Nagasar and get involved. They're also like get some extra levels, get another. They have an item on Nagasar and gets involved, but they're also like not afraid to team fight because they have an insane amount of damage. Thompson maxed out. Spirit Vessel available on him. Warlock level 9. And then you have Fatal Bonds maxed out. Pretty big. Warlock level 9, 13 minutes into the game. Like, this is pretty big.
Both supports a lot of experience going his way. And you can see the difference in networks between the 4,300 supports from these teams.
Yeah, that's quite a bit. He's going into an early
4,300 gold. So Arcane Boots into a pipe for 9.
That's quite a bit. And he's going into an early
something that
pipe.
Tundra always did really
So
well.
Arcane Boots into a
Understood
pipe
like
for
what
9.
they need to buy on their position.
This is something
4
that
and 5
Tundra
always did really
when
well.
Saxa played,
Understood like what they need to buy on their
playing
position
slightly
4
more
and
on the
5
Bleedier side.
When
But
Saxa played,
was
was snaking. I think like this.
He was playing slightly more on the
Changed
Bleedier
the
side,
map,
but
but
40%
snaking
does
I think like
benefit
this teams like Tundra, because this is also a team that tends to farm a lot. Like a lot of the times, so was snaking. I think like also getting like pipe neck, change the map when it's 40% bigger does benefit teams like Tundra, because this is also a team that tends to farm a lot. Like a lot of the times we've seen Tundra in that past also getting like pipe neck on snaking.
In ours, we're just trying to help in turn from them going after Thompson, right?
Yeah,
Not the longest
want to commit there.
cooldown, so you use that as a bit of a deterrent from them going after Thompson, right? Level 1, 70 seconds. I mean, level 3
Yeah,
for
not want to
Grimstroke.
commit there.
50 seconds on that cooldown is pretty much nothing at all. Level 1, 70 seconds. I mean, level 3 for Grimstroke. 50 seconds on that cooldown is pretty much nothing at all. For levels. Boomer Cape, you've got Thompson trying to clear up a stack here. He's got himself that Midas. Shark, that Spear Vessel. Thompson trying to clear up a stack here. He's got himself that Midas. He's trying to, with that Spear Vessel, get himself a little bit more comfortable if the game goes later. He's trying to get himself a little bit more comfortable if the game goes later. It's a 7,000 net worth lead, even though the game felt even on kills. They're going to go 7,000 net worth lead, even though the game felt even on kills. They're going to go bottom for 7,000 net worth lead, even though the game comes already being shown here by Tundra. Down on top of Ari. Comes in with chaotic offering. That's dropped down on top of Ari. Whitemon gets a little bit of that hit on him. Grip. You've got silence on the Ari. They're making sure they've got this kill with roll. Silence on the Ari. They're making sure they've got this kill with roll. And they at least take out the top.
So quick reacting with these moves, and
Tundra
also
so quick
both
reacting
supports on their
with
side,
these moves,
not
and also
afraid to use their
both supports on their side, not afraid
them out for a
to
second or two.
ultimate
Snaking
to,
immediately
like,
drops down for a second or two. Snaking immediately drops down golem. Tower. I deal some extra damage, but also I feel like they want to take another fight. 33 does have ulti available, and they're gonna smoke. Is on dire side. Kasane, he just is on dire side. Kasane, he just showed himself.
Going to see if they can spot Kasane again. Immediately, he wants to get out of dodge, and he goes
Good
over
read.
towards bot. He wants to get out of dodge, and he goes
Good
over
read.
towards bot. Here though, he's in his own jungle, but that's still a little bit too far out for comfort. In his own jungle, but that's still a little bit silences on him, and there's no way for him to escape. Multiple silences on him, and there's no way for him to escape. Phantom's Embrace, they have the geomagnetic grip. The other silence, Phantom's Embrace, they have the geomagnetic grip. The other silence, and they're moving right towards mid. They have just made. They're so quick. Like they are just going from point to point with no break in between.
It was pretty much bottom, top, mid, and they might even
find
move to the
Bryle.
bottom. They found Bryle. That's
they've
big.
got the
That's
roll.
massive.
Soulbind, and there's the Fatal Bonds. They go to the Solar Guardian that will drop down. Overgrowth's not going to do anything. Bryle's already dead. Ari's going to extend his life with a snowball, but the roll lands on a Whitemon. They're still going to find this extra kill.
Get this kill
as
onto the
Whitemon's
tree.
in
He's a little bit
trouble.
lucky
He's
on
in
that.
this thanks to the
Push to be
shard.
alive.
They got the two big
two.
kills. I don't think they
And, I mean,
care too much about not killing Treant Protector there. Again, getting the tower and Fatal Bonds, Soulbind. Like, this is going to be good at every single stage of the game. 9 has Pipe Finish, not your traditional Grimstroke item, but they understand that most of the damage coming out from them right now is Magical, Radiance, Zeus, Rod from Podge, which is not upgraded yet. Tomato needs another 1,500 gold to finish off his Aghanim Scepter.
yeah, and that Ag's timing just feels like it's off the mark a little bit. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to really turn everything around. Upheaval Whitemon is going to have to try and get into the trees once again. I don't know if anybody... he's got a sentry on Snaking, but he's holding the Upheaval. They're not going to go for Whitemon with the heroes around him. Well, potentially that, we could see them go in again and have him go invis and still have his life. got Whitemon nearby. And 33 is going to try and help with that Celestial Hammer. Overgrowth is used. Silence on a Kasane.
They're not taking damage.
Ooh, now they're going to find the roll. Tops and Chaotic Offering drop down onto both Ari as well as Whitemon. They've got the supports in some trouble. Roll's going to miss Kasane, but they've got themselves the ensnare coming out from Skitter. The snowball to extend the life. Brown on the backlines with a heavenly jump to try and get away from Thompson, but Thompson's going to roll up into the high
He's
ground,
in.
and he wins. He's on the Brile.
What a
He's
madman.
behind the tier 3 while they go for Kasane over where the Tormentor would be if it was 20 minutes. They're going to
But he
chase
got
him all the way to the gate. They get the kill on a Brile. They'll take out Ari. Kasane is looking next on the list with Thompson
He
nearby.
wants the big one.
Spirit Vessel on him, chasing him down. Boulder Smash on a Tomato to get the kill. Onto
What a
Kasane.
player.
Terribly
He goes
at
in
the
pretty
size
much
that he is
on his own.
in
Rest
this
of
game
the
as well.
team,
Team Spirit are
some
off to
of
a
them
really good
were
start.
still near the tier 2 tower, and
I have to say, I've always
That's
enjoyed
just
watching
tops and
Mira
things.
and Makoshka.
Boulder Smash on a Tomato to get
No
the kill.
hesitation to roll up out of the high ground after the heavenly jump.
He just wanted it.
They don't want to go on Gabby, but they will find the rest of them as they head out of the stock.
If only all of life was that easy. I want it, I got it.
I wish.
You got it.
This also opens up Tormentors for them. I see Warlock buying Shard of his own. 9 has 1 queued up, needs another 300 gold. And again, this is how Tundra does it. Like, they know how to utilize the map. And speaking of itemization, Grimstroke, he does have Trust to Shovel, digging up some bounty runes. Of course, snaking with the Philosopher's Stone, Big Boy Philly providing him with some extra gold. Hand of Midas, this is what...
Control ka pa dyan, ha?
I think what
Parang na.
changed
Ay, lalaban! Lalaban ng
game
gate, ang LGD, mga pare ko.
on Laundry before he could get his Radiance off.
Masyado ang greedy ng bay.
The lane timing.
Hahabulin pa dito nitong
They're
si
going
Zero
in.
as they know, no more carry.
Soulbind.
And look
They're
at
connected
Zero,
to
low on
Aster, and now they're
mana.
going to go in. They've got the roll on the backlines again. He's
Oy,
always looking for
nakakalimot yata kayo, kami
Zeros
yung
are alive,
Aegis.
with a sword of
Yeah.
health, they get the kill to Brian.
Kami may kami yung tatapang dito. Masyado na rin malalim. Tsaka tinipid din kasi nung spin, hindi siya nag-godstring kagad eh. Kung nag-godstring siya, patay kung ano, high ground daw. Wala silang vision. Sa river, meron. Kung ano, high ground daw. Wala silang vision. Sa river, meron. Dapat chillings na nga dun siya eh. So ayos na eh. Dapat chillings na nga dun siya eh. So ayos na eh. Nagkaroon pa tuloy ng extra kill yung carry ng kalaban niya. Pero basta extra
Stay now on their side.
carry ng kalaban niya. Pero kahit
This fight, it's insane pickup. Like I think most of the players won't pick it up on Grimstroke as a position 4, but they know that they're going to hit their own timing, delaying timing from TSM, and then they can go in and do what they're doing right now. 21 minutes, 22 minutes into the game.
Oh my God! Here comes the boom! Oh my God! Here comes the boom! Sabi nga dito na itong tinatira eh. Mga idolo that went down. Zero! Mga idolo that went down. Yung Tormentor. Beautiful play from Tormentor. Every moment.
33's been perfect with these sword
stream
guardians,
yun.
right? Dropping down
Tapos sa may
behind the
Tormentor
fight.
ka pa nag-echo slam.
Celestial Hammer,
May return
Starbreaker combo to follow it
Sarap.
up.
Ubus talaga. Highlights ako dyan.
And yeah, the hook
Sa may
just
YouTube
into no
sinabi
man's
sa
land, not getting a kill or not finding a target. And then just the silences, he even keeps snaking alive.
Ito may buhay na spin ng kalahati. Yung isa na pura na lang na maalam agad si Muerta.
Roshan's available if they want to go for it and try to close the game. But considering how Tundra's playing right now, I'm not sure they even need Rosh. I think they can keep this pressure going.
Sulit na sulit yung Aegis ng LGD.
It doesn't seem
Sulit
like
na sulit. And by the
they
way,
have to
that
slow
replay was
down
brought to us by
at all.
Predator, ha?
Rounds available.
Kung ako mag-ES, gusto ko ganun yung makikita akong kalaban.
Considering how Tundra's playing right now, I'm not sure they even need Roach. I think they can keep this pressure going.
Yan. Bilarit ng casters na Pinoy yung lineup ng
slow down.
LGD. Hindi nila alam na
That net.
Ito naman boss wise
Buying some time, Shores try and block him out. Meanwhile, they're going after
tatlong magkakaibang
major. They're going after. Scooter takes out Ari. So Thompson's going to be on a monster kill. Stick out a John.
Masasabi mo talaga
That is it.
Pero with the performance of LGD right now, you'd say na
they found a breaking point. The water started to flow through. They found a breaking point. The water started to flow through the dam, and that was
I understood. Like,
lamang na sa
pretty much I understood like what the
Siyempre, mga par, nila na yung tennis dito ngayon. Pero that...
Top lane, the timing, like his first move was 12 lane,
Wala pa.
they get killing, they get the
ginagawa na
time, they got the time, they got better training, look at checking the farm hero in the game throughout the whole game. He tends to stay on top of the net throughout
And
most
you
of the
could see
game.
like they were very excited on the side. They were very excited on the side of analyzing the TSM. Analyzing a little bit
Walk out of the room. They're going to take a little bit of a break. Out of the room. They're going to take a little bit of a break. Maybe clear their minds, right? So break, maybe clear their minds. It's now second game, right? So game 3,
Kasi kung nagaganim siya,
the group now
makapasok
is
siya.
so small, you need to make sure you're grabbing at least one of the games. The group's being so small, you need to make sure you're grabbing at least one of the games out of these two.
Pag nagkamali siya ng pagod, tapos napunta siya sa may break, yung second skill na
I would put them as one of my favorites to win the whole thing. I put them as one of my favorites to win the whole thing because Dream League, the result maybe because late,
One-zero na po yung
result maybe the team they were because they lost the team they were because they had lost against like I felt the vibes, like I felt the vibes, Tundra and the vibes combined. Tundra and the vibes combined.
Inatalon na, dito na Ace, pero umeko sa lang na nga dito ngayon itong sinatin siya with the BKB, makakataas naman siya dyan.
Very relaxed. They looked like they had everything going their way.
Okay na, gumastress na natin to say, Enchanted Totem Palo, sabay hampas dito ngayon kay Celery, Overgrowth, binigay na first planet na bibigyan pa sa may Gedli. And look at Sven, he's being controlled, he's being contained, and let's go in with the Rockyo down. Ayos man naman, binibigyan dito na itong si Topo na piling carry, pero si Shiro, he is the real carry now going for Queen. And Muerta, hinampas na naman ng totem ni nating to say, mga kaibigan ni Megos mo na yan, ito nga pong LGD, nagagalit na mga insan. Look at that Shiro, oh my God, Queen, taking so much damage from Shiro, and Shiro getting juke time, lapsed away. Queen is alive, pero mga buddy, nilalamon na nila dito yung GG. Wala ka ng split, bungo mo na yung next na magsi-split, and that's LGD.
Enjoy playing this game and they love what they're doing.
So game 1 goes the way
pero alam mo yung buong team fight na yun, the reason kung bakit natalo lang yung GG. Bakit? Dahil lang sa ward.
Dahil sa ward.
Kasi nakita yung movement ng Sven with that sentry, tapos may ward pa dun yung LGD that time, nag-expire lang after ng team fight Kaya kitang-kita yung movement ng Sven. Imagine kung walang sentry dun. Diba? E di nakapag-sneaky sana sa likod yung Sven. Nawalis niya sana agad yung balak niyang walisin dun Hindi. Isa lang yun Wars, win wars. May ward sila dito sa kabila. Ops ward. Tapos ito sentry. Kitang-kita yung Sven. Sakto, umaga pa. Naka-CCTV. Ayun lang, ngayon na yung reason kung bakit natalo sila. Ano ba? Are they lacking disables? Hindi. GG? Ano lang, nakita lang talaga agad yung Sven. Kasi kung naburin niya agad yun, makakapag-focus sila sa isang target after walisin ni Sven yung... after mang -1 ng Sven Kasi hindi Pero eto din Mike, naisip ko din. Kung ang gamit nito ba ay Dark Widow, hindi Muerta, siguro nag-iba ba yung clash? Kasi as a Muerta, ang mapaprovide mo lang is dead shot. Diba? For control, lalo na dito sa Weaver. Siguro yung second skill din. Pero yun nga, napagin mo Weaver, tatakas lang kikenteng lang ang palabas Tsaka may big, lalo na ngayon, may BKB pa. Kaya nagiging problema na para dito ngayon sa GG yung pag-control. Diba? So, ayun nga mga pare, for GG, nagiging problema ng unti-unti. Hindi lang yung Weaver actually. Lahat na sila. Si Chen hindi na mapatay. Diba? Ayun naman yung balak sana ng Sven Ma-minus agad si Grimstroke o si Chen kasi pag si Chen, wala kang sustain. Pag nabura, wala nang sustain pala yung LGD pag nabura mo agad. Grimstroke naman, wala nang control kay Queen or kay Ace. Diba? Wala. Nag-failan talaga yun dahil sa may sentry. Ops na meron yung LGD sa may mid that time. Kaya ang ganda din ng last pick dito ni Shiro. Diba? Ang ganda ng last pick ni Shiro. And nagme-make sense. Sa'yo lahat ng damage from LGD plus hindi ka pa ganun kadaling mahuli with the current lineup ng GG. So for GG, struggle to for them, pero dito natin makikita kung paano nga ba nila na-dominate yung all three majors. Oo. Pero ito lang kahit sabihin mong ang daming best na nanalo ng LGD sa may team fight, pick-offs at isang team fight, tapos nakakakuha sila ng mga 4 kills yung network talaga hindi pa rin ganun ka-wide Parang alam mo yun, isang team fight ang kailangan ng GG para mabaliktad to. Pwede, Totoo. One big team fight talaga. Actually, Weaver lang. Patay mo dyan eh. 2K. Baba ng 2K.
Para tayo yan, maganda sa lahat. Safety lang yung LGD. Tapos doing work agad.
Ganda ng counter nila dito. Countermeasure sa mga pwede mangyari later. Diba? So, Wisdom Runes being picked up here. Sa nakikita natin, mga pare ko,
yan,
second
sa
Roshan.
lahat. Nakuha na ng ES yung key item niya. Aghanim Scepter. Kanina ko pa hinihintay yan eh.
Tsaka may heart na si Centaur.
Ayun,
Pero by the way, the Trosh kills brought to us by Vortex. Do check out Vortex PC Mods sa Facebook. PM na kayo pag kayo magpapa-upgrade or magpapabuo ng PC. Okay.
Ito na. MKB yung bubuhin dito ng Weaver. Well, understandable kasi may Regents.
Yan.
Yung Beastmaster, Brewmaster.
Oo.
Kaya pa nakakita. Nag-drums muna siya.
Kaya din hindi siya ganun kadaling ma-pick off eh. Talagang
Uy,
majunat-junachi.
nakita.
Grabe naman yung
Dag.
mga sense nila dito.
Pack,
Meron
may
naman
ward.
kasing ward dyan, mga kaibigan. Nothing to say, blocking the path of the Rakyo. Sabay out muna. Sinusubukan ko may magre-react sa side ng GG. May vision sila dun eh.
Gugustuhin din ng GG doon na dalhin yung teamfight doon sa may task kung saan meron silang wards.
Oo. Pero mga kaibigan, another update. BetBoom won against Thunder Awaken recently, So, ayun. Meron tayong dalawang nakakakuha ng panalo. So, that's Thundra and BetBoom. Totoo.
Ito, kita mo parang hindi totally one-sided eh.
Oo, medyo kumokontrol pa nga ng mapa yung GG kahit wala silang Aegis eh. Ganun sila ka-confident.
Pero feel ko, tingin ko pag natalo sila dito, sa isa pang upcoming team fight, magtutuloy-tuloy na yun.
Oo.
Parang ang hirap na ibawi.
Snowball effect na yun. Kasi
mag-18 na rin yung mga core eh.
Totoo.
Parang andun na yung maximum damage ng skills nila eh. Lalo na Echo Slam.
After nun, pag hindi pa rin